Hi everyone, welcome back to another Onkruid video, to a video where we will, or an unedited Soulstone Survivors video, where we will play with the paladin, with his new weapon. Make sure we have the right runes enabled though, not the case yet right now. I think we can get rid of multicast mastery and then just go for the synergetic. Ooh, it's 4. Alright, so synergetic, there we are. I think this is quite a potent build to deal a lot of damage, but we will not have dash mastery to escape the dangers that the enemies oppose. Or that the enemies propose, rather. Uphold, the dangers they uphold, however you want to call it. I think I often make like random mistakes. Oh, and I'm sorry by the way for not seeing that many effects anymore, but I need the frames per second to actually be able to dodge at least somewhat. I think I definitely make a lot of mistakes when I'm talking in the English language still. And often I think it's also my own creativity that is bringing me down, that is my downfall. Because I try to be creative and I try to use words that not everybody will always use, to keep my sentences varied as well a little bit, just to keep it a bit interesting, if you will. And show my knowledge, or show off my knowledge of the English language. But most of the time I think my accent shines through way too hard. My pronunciation, as exemplified right there, is a bit shit. And I think I sometimes even like make up words accidentally, because I think that it's a word I heard before, but it's actually a non-existent word, so that's not helping out my case either. Either way though, we're all here just to have fun. It doesn't have to be perfect. I don't have to tell you the perfect English words in every single occasion. I can just have fun, because that's what we're here for, having fun. Having fun together in Soulstone Survivors in episode 49. I think I finally got my estimation of the episode count right this time, but it was a bit confusing for a second with episode 47 being recorded twice, so my mind was a bit in shambles for a second there. 49, almost at the big 50. Let's go for a multicast build this time around. That's all we're gonna focus on. Multicast, and then get some very strong abilities that deal a lot of damage and normally have a long cooldown, but with our multicast focus and cooldown reduction, we're actually going to make sure that we pop them often. Beacon of Light. You emit a aura, causing damage and applying confuse. Sure, that sounds interesting. Doesn't really benefit from multicast, but I think it sounds interesting for now, because I definitely just need something that kills the enemies around me. Vicious Strikes. We always appreciate Vicious Strikes showing up. It's like the #1 rule of Soulstone Survivors. An extra dash is also very helpful in the early game. Titan's Cleaver is exactly the type of skill I was looking for. And now we are hoping to apply a whole lot of multi-strikes. Thunder Strikes, that cooldown is a bit... Ooh, Body Slam. Sure, let's go for Body Slam. Let's go for a larger area. Let's go for a larger area on the Beacon of Light as well. And I think we're already in the domain of having some potential. Heroic Strike, also exactly what we're looking for. Some critical damage. And now all we need to do, I think, is rely on our multi-strike capacities, our multi-strike capabilities boosted up by our arcane power, and hopefully we will be able to deal a whole bunch of damage. Area of effect, sure, we have taken a lot of area of effect upgrades already, but I think that's fine. And don't get it twisted, we are playing on the hardest difficulty this game has to offer right now. So it is very much possible that we are not going to achieve victory from the first, second, third, fourth, fifth attempt, but we're going to keep trying until we complete the entire game, and even more important, until we actually get to that 100 episode mark. And that really satisfies me that I have this concrete specific goal, because that means that I don't have to worry about like, oh, is this content entertaining enough? Do I include enough entertaining commentary? Is it viable to upload? Do I think it's gonna pull in views? Because all this series is really about is me achieving that goal I set for myself. That goal of achieving 100 episodes in this game. That's all there's to it. And the lords right now are here. That might impede our plans to achieve a bunch of episodes, because they can ransack us to the point where we don't want to play anymore. Because for now our build is not strong enough to deal with lords quickly. Let's try and get rid of this tower in the meantime, because there's a bit too much on the ground for me to dodge, in my opinion. I think we really just need more multicast and less cooldown in my opinion. Is Titan's Cleaver the one that scales with armor? Yes, so we can focus on both health and armor upgrades to increase our damage and our survivability at once. Which is what we always like to see. Ooh, we didn't dash out of it quite quickly enough. We need to make sure that we dash to the side and just remain in the hitbox. Even larger area of effect on the heroic strike. I think it's almost covering our entire screen right now, but I can't even see it really. So you tell me, do you think it's covering the entire screen? I definitely know that we took a lot of area upgrades already, and we'll take one more even, and we'll take one more even, just for good measure, because I want my skills to reach them, you know. We might have to replace the Hammer of Justice if we get the chance. I think we have passed up on Might all too often already, and I think it's going to be a better fit for our build right here. Or then again, something that benefits a bit more from multicast. Smite is also nice because it heals me. Multicasting Smite. Let's try it on for size for a second, shall we? Smite and then a multicast, because I think a healing ability is very nice in the case of not playing an arcane character, so not playing a character that can get the arcane shield. Another area upgrade, but I feel like we are almost saturated in that market, so let's go for the cast frequency here. Now it is quite difficult to spot where the Smite ability is actually landing. Oh, it's right there. Because of all our area upgrades, we have quite a large margin to actually be inside of the circle and get the healing done. Let's see if we can spot its appearance. Yeah, right here. Let's stand in it. I guess it's quite hard to stand in it when you have to dodge a whole bunch of enemy attacks in the meantime. Some more increased potency on the multicast buff. We're missing some key components of this run, that's for sure, but we will get there. I think those two upgrades we got right there are going to help us out a lot, because we need to apply negative effects for our run to actually work. Blade Storm is definitely necessary, I think. I think I'm going to replace Heroic Strike with Blade Storm. We know that it is such a potent ability. It has carried us through multiple runs, and additionally we have already taken enough area upgrades for it to be popping off right from the get-go. And now we have this mechanic to apply all the negative effects that we want to apply for our build to work. I think we're onto something here. Damage increase or armor power. I think I would love armor power because it makes our heroic strike stronger and it makes it a bit more tanky because we are getting hit quite often. Area effect on all holy skills, which is just Beacon of Light and Smite. I don't think that's worth it. Or is it worth it? No, I don't think that's worth it. I think I'm gonna go for a larger chance to apply burn. Hopefully get 4 of those upgrades immediately so that every attack I fire at enemies applies burn actually. Area effect or critical damage. I think area effect on a body slam is always going to be more worth it because that is like one of our main damaging abilities. So having that cross the screen entirely is very helpful. A larger chance to apply poison is also definitely what we need. We didn't dodge in time there. It took quite a lot of hits really. I do see the healing crystal up here, so that's what we're going for. While dodging the saw blade. We definitely need to make quick work of at least some of the lords because the next ones are already spawning in and we can't face all of them at once, I think. Let's move up nice and close. There we go. The next ones are here already. Some more frailty or some more block power. It's armor power, right? So block power is not necessarily what we're looking for right now. We're looking for max health or armor power. I would also love to get some legendary damage upgrades for all my physical skills. That would be very welcome indeed, but you can't get everything you want in life, of course. Whew. Alright, we are low on health all of a sudden. Damn, I didn't even notice it. Are there any more health crystals for us here? Might. Am I going to replace Smite with Might? I think I am, because I don't think we have been healed by Smite once, because we can't stay in the area where it is being channeled for long enough for it to actually have effect. We're moving in between our bosses right here, so we need to be careful that we don't step into the Fire Lord's trail. I don't know what just hit me so often, but I did die in the process once. Thermal Shock is going to be interesting because we do almost have all the upgrades to make every single hit we do apply burn. And slowing down the bosses is definitely going to help us out. But something is slowing us down tremendously actually. God damn, are we struggling. I know that the paladin is not really the character I normally play with, so maybe that's something to do with it. I just don't know how to play this character well, and I guess this build doesn't really work on the type of abilities I'm doing right now, because we are not really applying all that many negative effects all the time. Damage effect of the beacon of light, sure. Alright, second revive popped. I think this is gonna be another one of those short episodes, but we are still getting to know this new curse difficulty as well, so you need to take that into account too, you know. We're still getting used to the new mechanics this curse difficulty entails, so we need to really be careful a bit more, because we are moving into harm's way a bit too often as well. I did notice that we got hit quite often this run. I'm talking about it like it is already over, and it's not yet, but I think we can all see, and if we are honest with each other, that this run is not going anywhere. We don't have the damage to take out the lords in time, and the next lords are already just knocking on our doorstep right away. So I think it was a fun little experiment, and we are gonna gain some paladin prestige levels at least, which is definitely something we still need for all the achievements we are going for. But as I said, I don't think it's necessarily gonna be a winner this run. I mean, we are holding out a little bit here, right? But are we doing enough damage? I don't think so, really. I see even the odds, even the small monsters are just surviving and roaming around, really traversing in circles around us without us being able to deal any damage to them in the slightest. We can't get rid of the towers, we can't get rid of the elites. It's all in shambles, man. We can't get rid of this rogue Dead Knight even. And I felt like we got so many multicast upgrades. I thought we would really be multicasting body slams left, right and center, but it's not the case at all. Get out of there. Get out of there without heading into the fire. And even though we clearly lost this run, I still feel proud. And I still feel... Oh, we're stuck. And I still feel A-okay. I'm not getting mad at Soulstone Survivors in the near future. I think I really had that mentality reset over the weekend, and it helped me out a lot. And I'm still, or again, having just a lot of fun in the game. It's also a new form of difficulty, of course. So a new entire game mode to discover, if you will. If you look at it optimistically. Of course, it's not really a new game mode, it's just a bit larger numbers to get off my screen. Still though, proposes a whole new challenge. We're already level 54, even though we are only at like the second wave of lords, so that speaks to the increased difficulty we are facing now. I think this build, what it lacks is we don't have the right abilities or the right build type to actually fit our runes. Normally we would go for Flurry or the arcane beams and stuff, abilities that hit often and really often to have them apply the negative effects, but that's not what we were going for at all. We got into this delusion that multicast was gonna work. And a delusion it was indeed, because it was very far from the truth. The truth. Let's go for multicast again though. I feel like once our build actually pops and we get the multicast on all the abilities we want to get it on while we are facing a lord in close range, I think we actually have quite some damage. But those are, as you can hear me say it, I think you realize as well that all the stars and planets in the universe have to align for me to actually do that. And that only happens once in a blue moon. Once every 500 years do Saturn and Uranus actually get to one line, and it is well known for a fact actually that of course causes the multicast to line up perfectly. Astrologists are always baffled by that astrological phenomenon. Stephen Hawking actually wrote a book on it, or at least a chapter in A Brief History of Time, or whatever his book is called. I've listened to that audiobook like once, I think. Not entirely, but while falling asleep for a couple of days in a row. I think I listened to the first chapter. And it's those kinds of books that I definitely don't advise you to look into in an audiobook format. I think having non-fiction books like that, where you really have to focus on every single word that is said, you definitely need it on paper. Got stuck. You need it on paper because you need to have a conversation with the author with a little pen or pencil in your hand. Alright, some nice prestige experience. Next run we might go ahead and try to get another little achievement about achieving a quick victory with the paladin, because I believe that's still on the table as well, probably. Where are they? Where are those achievements? Are they here? Yeah, under 12 minutes with legionnaire, prestige 60 with the paladin. Or maybe I've done it already. Either way, next episode is just going to be another Soulstone Survivors episode, but it's going to be the big 5-0, the big 50, halfway to our set goal of 100 episodes. Thank you very much for watching. Hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye.